This class is orientation and IELTS. Dears, today I'll talk about the 3 plus 1 more questions related to IELTS. First question as it comes in our mind, what is IELTS? Second questions, how long does the test go? Third questions, what is its syllabus and the system or what to prepare? And finally, I'll try to make you understand how the IELTS band score is calculated.
Let's learn Phrasolia to 3 with Bin and Shah.
And let's begin with the first questions. I'm done. IELTS. So IELTS, International English Language Testing System, means your language, which language? English language, will be tested within the system, whether it is okay or not, within the international level. I mean that, as it is said, means you have the proficiency at the particular language, I mean English language, and your English language is all about means acceptables on the basis of receptive and protective skills. Get the answer to the first questions, as I have already mentioned. What is IELTS? So, the International English Language Testing System. It is international designated test of English language. Means non-native speakers can speak English, but in which way and what way and to what extent, that will be checked it out. And Universal, it is jointly managed by the British Council's IDP, IELTS Australia and Cambridge Assessment English. Now let's move toward the second questions. I mean, how long does the test go? Means, is I'm going to appear in the test. So how long may I sit for the test? Let me explain. Simply, let's begin. One more thing. IELTS means it's a test of listening, reading, writing and speaking. The skill we have at the particular modules, so that will be assessed. So let's talk about IELTS. Means that listening. Listening test will be assessed within 30 plus 10 minutes. 30 minutes plus 10 minutes means 40 minutes. And let's move towards the reading test. Reading test is an hour. And writing test, it is as similar as reading test, will have an hour. And finally, we have speaking. Speaking test is from 11 to 14 minutes. Means there is no exact fixed time. 11 to 14 means 11, 12, 13 and 14. Within this periphery, the test will be over. So it's all about time bound of IELTS test. As a whole, if you calculate it, we can find 2 hours 54 minutes. But exactly, the test for the IELTS test is only 2 hours 44 minutes because 10 minutes as it was included for the listening test, that is only for the transferring the answer onto the answer sheet. Now let's move towards the third questions. What is its system? This is the main questions to understand IELTS. As it is IELTS set, means at last alphabet, system means S for system. System means what? Syllabus. As per we understand. The syllabus means here, let me explain one by one. First of all, let's move toward the listening test. Listening test. Listening test is all about listening to the recordings. Means already recorded audio scripts will have. Those audio scripts are played within the short gap. You will be instructed, and overall you are there to use pencils and write down the answers in the question papers. And these all the recordings, recordings are called section, and it was section But in place of section in latest test means after COVID-19 2019, the place the word as it was used sections, now it is used part. So we have four parts, altogether four parts: part 1, part 2, part 3. And part 1 we have 10 questions, part 2 10 questions, part 3 10 questions, part 4 10 questions. So altogether we have 40 questions in listening test. Let's move towards now next, I mean that reading test. So what is its system, what is its way to assess your capacity of reading skills? So I mean here in reading test, as you found listening test, you have the recordings, you are supposed to go through the recordings and finalize the answers. In the same way, you have here passages. You have three passages. Means I mean passage 1, passage 2 and passage 3. First passage you will have 13 questions. Similar to first passage, you will have the 13 questions in second passage. And finally, you will have one more questions, I mean 14 questions in the passage third. So you are solving these all 40 questions within the three passages within 60 minutes. Later on, you are going to transfer all the answers to the answer sheet as well. Means I mean that within 60 minutes you are searching, then writing and transferring all the answer onto the answer sheet within an hour. You are not getting the 10 minutes extra as you found in listening test. In listening test, within 30 minutes, you listen 4 recordings, you got the answer, and 10 minutes extra you have to transfer your answer onto the answer sheet. But here you don't have. Okay, now let's move towards the next module, I mean that the writing test. In writing test, you will have two tasks. Task 1, task 2. Let's understand task 1. Task 1 means it's all about writing graphs. If you are going through the academic Ielts. On the other hand, if you are moving towards the GD, General Ielts, then you are doing means letter writings instead of graphs writings. You are supposed to complete this work, means I mean task 1 within 20 minutes. And as you are writing the graphs, means you are completing this work within 150 words. On the other hand, task 2. Task 2 is all about essay writing. Essay means you'll have here not the essay as you found in our schooling and culture life. Women empowerment, my country, my pride. No, my dear, you do not have this type of topics. Here you have almost different topics. Here the topics are quite different. I mean that topics are on the basis of debate. Debatable questions, argumentative questions. For examples, rearing animals, or let's say after rearing animals, having them, it's a inhuman act. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Obviously, the questions are on the basis of agree and disagree, advantages, disadvantages. You are supposed to answer both sides along with the opinion, negative and positive aspects, this sort of. Anyway, this task you are going to complete within 40 minutes as you have already allocated time 20 minutes for the task 1. Then task 2 is within 40 minutes. 40 minutes means 40 plus 20 means 60. It means an hour. Means within an hour you are going to complete writing task 1, task 2. But it is flexible. Within 20 and 40, no. If you are going to complete 20 minutes task 1, then you are saving time for the writing task 2. Alright, now let's move towards the last, that speaking. Speaking test is all about, simply we can say, interview, means oral test, where there is a interviewer, on the other hand there is a interviewee. Teacher students, head to head conversation, and it goes through the three parts. Three parts means, that first part, it's all about introduction and interview. Second part, long term independent part. That means you will have the topic card and you are there to talk on the topic. And finally, you will have few questions, and those questions will be asked and you are supposed to answer with logics, reasons, examples, justifying. So in such a way, you are giving the you are appearing in speaking test. So this is all about the systems in Ielts of the four modules: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. At the end, I'm going to talk about how is it calculated. The band score, how it can be calculated. I'm going to show you here. You see, overall, what is band score? So here, each module, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, is assessed on the basis of 9 band score. Out of 9, listening, suppose you brought 8.5. Reading, you brought, let's say, only 7 band score. And let's move toward the writing. Something went wrong during examinations. You became nervous. Suppose you brought only, let's say, 6.5. And finally, we have speaking. Yes, in this module also you brought 6.5. So overall, each band score is added and finally divided by 4. Then average, whatever it comes, that is the overall your band score, that your final result. So in such a way is it calculated. You can see here. So anyway, this is all about Ielts. Hope you understood very nicely. And any problems if you have regarding this matter, or you are not able to understand, still you are in dilemma, okay, so please do not feel any kind of difficulty. Please, you can leave the message in descriptions, and I will instantly try my best to give you a response. That's all. Thank you.